script now. They actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? It was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
That's taken it around the 40. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here's Trubisky, and this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And Parkey missed it. That's no good. Off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 34. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Working from the gun. Wentz buying time to his left. And he connects with Ertz. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play. The one that they got on the previous one, they tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel. From the gun, it's Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 13 and also a 1st down. Wentz going to throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for him. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
And he's got some space here. He's at the 40. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Trubisky with the give to Howard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Throwing right, and that's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
This will be taken in at the 1. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against? So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
From midfield, here's Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They'll run it now out of the gun. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. He's going to air one out. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Onto the field now come the Bears. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the handoff, this is Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Trubisky. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On fourth down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A minute 57 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. Wentz now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And it'll be first and goal at the 7-yard line. And in this very cold night air, how much harder, Charles, is it to hang on to that football?
It's a lot harder, and I know for the most part we think about a ball being slick when there's rain or snow, any type of moisture. But when it's cold and dry like it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears are in for 6. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Wentz on third down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Wentz now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Throwing now is Wentz. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Akeem Hicks, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Here we go. 120.
Wentz now to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. He's got it at the 15. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
Grade 15, grade 15. 81, 81.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Fighting through. Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pete Carroll throwing down near the goal line and it not turning out well. I think we've seen that before.
Feels like a flashback, doesn't it? You go back to the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and everybody expected them to run the ball, and they didn't through it. Crucial interception that ended the game essentially for them. I think everyone thinks they're going to run it every single time now. That's just not going to be the case.
Here it's a costly fumble. A give to Howard. Shifts by him. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this 1st half. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the 2nd half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he slings one that's incomplete. Adam Shaheen was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there. And both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
On 3rd down, Trubisky. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That must be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. It's taken to the 26. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Sean Jeffrey scoring a touchdown against his former mates. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT. And we are even at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go, let's go.
On second down, Trubisky. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Bears on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Now he'll escape to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Wentz now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Akeem Hicks in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing is Wentz. Going for the deep ball. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. It's caught inside the 25. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Trubisky. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Trubisky will throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there. Not enough. And it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
82.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Looking deep down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
We're good.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Gonna throw right side here, complete. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Trubisky. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken at the 10. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about
his first carry, he loses the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
Lion.
Wentz to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. To throw is Wentz. He's going to air one out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
To throw, it's Wentz. Steps away to his left. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And that one results in 35 yards. And now they're going to get the timeout. So a huge play has him in field goal range with a chance to possibly send this one to OT. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be for the win. And that's off the right upright. Thought it might sneak in, but it did not. It's no good. And that changes everything here in OT. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Wentz forced out to his left. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On second down now, Green. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays, too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Marcus Golden in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, it's Wentz. He's going to look deep down the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Going up top. And that's caught inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time. Well, in overtime, I think coaches always wondering, where's that magic line for my kicker? They're already in field goal range after that big play.
I'm glad you brought that up because that magic line can change throughout the game. It's constantly being updated by teams. It starts with pregame. Okay, how do you feel? As the game goes on, they might ask him again, still feel that same number? Is it a different number? Right hash, left hash, what do you need? And that goes into the play calling in OT.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9. He's padding his already great numbers here in overtime. More importantly, though, moving his guys downfield.
And I think that's exactly what's going through his head right now. Moving them downfield, putting them in a position to win the game. The stats, that's for the fantasy guys. I know they're enjoying that show.
2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. On on second down. Green. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. 3rd and 8 situation. A tough spot here in overtime on the opening drive. Working from the gun. Wentz finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. That's their 2nd and last timeout here in the overtime session. We'll be back. So a big, big kick coming now for Jake Elliott. And Elliott puts this one through. And they have regained the lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it.
Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And that's how this one ends, in dramatic fashion in overtime with the interception. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint.